I'm here today with my mum's ML350, back again. So we're going to fix the parking sensor issue that she had before the brake drama that we recently fixed. So let's crack on, get the front bumper off and get this sensor changed out. I'd just like to take a moment to thank everyone for subscribing. At the time of putting this video together, we're currently around 2,546 subscribers. So thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed and to watch my videos. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, and you'll see more content from me. If you watch this video to the end, you'll see all the tools that are required, and I'll run through all of the different components, clips, screws, and everything you need to remove and install the bumper. We'll also use our Arti Diag tool to remove the fault codes. Right, so we've got the front bumper off, so we need to change the centre left front parking sensor. So I'll just show you now on the back of the bumper. So with the bumper off, we're looking at the parking sensors. Our fault code was for centre left front parking sensor. So as you can see on the front, there are 3 per side. You've got one here, one there, one there. So that would be classed as inner, that would be classed as centre, that would be classed as outer. So we're changing the centre left front. So we've got 2 tabs on these. So one, the bottom one at the top, we need to spread them apart. You push from the other side. Can be quite tough because they've been in there for quite a while. Pop that out, you've got a tab on the end here. Well, not a tab, someone shoved a bit of plastic in there. Right, so we push down, push this tab in, release. Check the pins, there's no corrosion, so that's all good there. So this is the old one, this is our new one that I painted yesterday. So we can put this one in. Simply slide in, clips in. It can only go in one way round. And then we want to slide it back in to the existing hole in the same orientation. Literally line up with the 2 clips, push it home. Here we go. So now we've got the parking sensor changed over for the new one. Let's get the bumper on and we'll plug it up. Before we refit the bumper completely, we'll test the parking sensors work. And if okay, we can rebuild. If you've got time, please check out the other videos on my YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe. Right, so now we've got the bumper loosely back on. We're going to check the function with all the plugs plugged in, make sure that the parking sensor is working. Right, so we're back inside the car. We'll start her up and see what happens with the parking sensor lights. If you remember beforehand, well, on the first visit, I think it faulted that many times that it wouldn't even bring the red lights on and wouldn't function at all. But recently, when we've been driving it, you get 2 red permanent lights on the indicator. And the only way to get rid of that annoying tone, which is, it sounds as if you're about to hit something because it's basically just putting into fault mode, is to turn it off via the function down here. So let's turn her on and see what happens. Right, so we haven't got anything yet, but we're not in drive or reverse. So let's put the car in drive or reverse and see what happens. So we're in drive, but we've still got no lights. But if we put it in reverse, turn it off and turn it on, so we've got no lights. There we go, with the parking brake off, that's how they function. So as you can see now, I'll show you a bit more of a close-up. Parking sensors are all fully functioning. So we've got no fault, which is great news. So we've diagnosed it absolutely correctly. So try and get you in close. You can see that, but basically we can see that we're a bit close to my van that's outside. So we've got 2 yellow or amber dots. As they get closer to the centre, they would go red. So we're all functional. Obviously, once we've fully installed the bumper, we'll triple check all the fault codes to clear and stay out, but yeah, all good. You can see here in this section that we're just popping the bumper back together. I will run through in just a short minute or so everything that you need to do to remove and install this bumper, all the clips, screws and tools that you need. Right, so to do this job, you'll need these following tools. You'll need a trim tool, doesn't have to be a snapper one, any sort of trim tool. You'll need a flat blade screwdriver. I find a long T20 the easiest. You'll need a long 10mm and a short one. I use it on a gun, but you could just use it on a ratchet, no issues. And I use a bit of grease just to put on the bolts to stop them from rusting as they go in the speed clips. Right, I'll show you where all these bolts and clips are. Right, so in the wheel arch you have 1, 2, 3 clips. You take them out, and then if you pry this wheel arch liner back, up here you have a T20 Torx bolt. You take them out either side, you can then slightly pull the bumper out a bit, but you won't be able to remove it fully. There's then a slider clip that slides in, so you pry that out with a screwdriver, pull it out behind the wheel arch liner, and then you should be able to remove this and flex this out from the wing. Then underneath the car you've got two bolts either side in the corner. You'll also have some clips along the front. I think there's 4 clips along the front. Take them out, and obviously the other 2 clips the other side. Release the bumper as I explained on the other side, the same this side. So T20, those 3 clips out to get access to it. Then you can release this part of the bumper from the part with the wing here. Then if we undo the bonnet, then under here you'll want to remove these 2 clips. You'll want to undo these 2 10mm, and then you'll want to lift gently up the outer skin and the inner skin of the bumper off of the headlight bracket. Both sides, like I said. And then at that point you should be able to pull the bumper towards yourself, and then there's just 2 electrical plugs, one on the inner side this side and one on the outside that side. So yeah, once that's off, then you can see back to my video of how we changed the parking sensor. So now I'm just going to erase the fault codes in the parking sensor control module. So we'll go automatically search, and this is the Arti Diag 800 BT topped on unit, as you've seen in my previous videos. We're just going to go to system selection for today, because all we need to do is get into the partronic system. I believe it's quite way down the list. See, we've got all kinds of fault codes in there, but they're all to do with centre, front, left parking sensors, pull contact or loose. So, and they're all stored, which is great news. So if we come out, then clear fault code, are you sure? Yes. We want to switch off the ignition. Right, so now I'll just go and test the function of the parking sensors again, and then we'll read the fault codes just to make sure there's no other fault codes coming back. Right, so we're just going to check the function of the parking sensors again. We've got the vehicle running, foot on the brake, we want to put it into drive, and again, as normal, you can see the parking sensors working. Just about there. But what I'll do, just to aid this, we shall drive forwards towards the van, obviously trying to avoid it, but you should see this change. There we go. Right, let's not hit the van, let's go back. Right, there we go. So the parking sensors are fully functional. Let's go back and double check and make sure that there's no other fault code stored. Right, so let's read the fault codes in the parktronic again. No fault code stored. All good. I'd like to just take this moment again to say thank you so much for watching this video to the end. And if you're not already subscribed, please drop us a subscribe, hit that bell notification, and you'll be notified when I drop my content.